Look, I'll level with you. The point isn't to post content consistently on social media. The point is to get clients consistently from social media. There's a massive difference. And most coaches think if they just show up every day, post valuable content, and engage with their audience, clients will magically appear. But here's what actually happens. You post, you get some likes, maybe a few comments. Someone slides into your DMs. You have a conversation. They seem interested. You get excited. And then nothing. The conversation dies out. It turns just into chatting, or they ghost you. Or what happens is you finally get a post that pops off. You get tons of comments and DMs. But when you try and convert those people, 90% of them are just freebie seekers who have no intention of ever buying. It's honestly feast or famine. You don't have any predictability. It's inconsistent and it's bloody annoying. And the reason this happens is simple. You don't have a system. You're relying on hope and the algorithm, and you're relying on people to just see enough and say, hey, I'm ready to buy. But the truth is they need to be led through a sales process. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 3-step system we use with our clients to turn social media into a predictable client acquisition machine. And this is the same system that our clients use to go from inconsistent 5, 10K months where they're chasing clients to predictable 20, 30, 50K months and even higher. And once it's installed, I can even show you how to run it on autopilot. So no cold DMs, no chasing prospects, no posting 10 times a day, just hoping something sticks. Just a simple, elegant system that turns attention into clients. So let's get into it. Here's what most coaches get wrong about social media. They think content is the product. They think content is the entire business. It's not. You're not a content creator. You're a business owner who leverages content to get leads and clients. So your content is just to get people in the door. You still have to nurture them, sell your offer, deliver the result. But most coaches, what they're trying to do is they're trying to give everything away in their posts, reels, and videos. They're trying to be that content creator who thinks the content is everything. And as such, they teach everything, and it's all over the place. It's not tailored to take people through a process. It just gives them information and lets them go. And then they wonder why nobody buys. And look, I respect it. You're trying to help more people, but that doesn't actually help them, does it? It just gets them to think that they can do it on their own, and they stay more and more and more stuck. Your job is to get them to implement. So the way you do that might be through selling implementation or accountability or however you actually get them to the goal. But if your social media strategy is just post valuable content and hope people DM you, you're leaving tons of money on the table. So let me paint a picture for you. You spend an hour on a post or a reel. You hit publish. It gets 30, 40, 50 likes, 8, 10, 12, 15 comments. You feel good and you think, okay, look, I'm actually building authority. This is working. And what happens? You check your DMs. Nothing. Okay, maybe they just booked a call. You check your calendar. No new calls booked. Oh, maybe they just went to the checkout link and bought. Bank account shows the same as yesterday. And you think to yourself, well, what am I doing wrong? I'm posting. I'm showing up. People are actually engaging. So why isn't this working? And I've been there. So let me tell you why. It's because you don't have a clear path for the prospect from I saw your post to I'm ready to invest $5,000 with you. People see your content and they think, oh, that's interesting. And then they scroll to the next thing because they don't know what to do next. They don't know why they should DM you. They don't know why they should work with you instead of just doing it on their own. So what happens? They do nothing, or they try and fix it through all your free content, or they go and consume the next person's content and you're back to square one. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. I've been there too. But what if I told you there's a way that you can fix this and that you can fix this permanently? What if every time somebody engaged with your content, it was a meaningful engagement and they automatically entered a system that delivered value, got them a quick win, educated them on your methodology, pre-qualified them, nurtured them with follow-up, and moved them towards a sales conversation without you ever having to lift a finger? That's exactly what the content to client system does. And it's the system I use to sign a new high-ticket client every 2 to 3 days at this point, and the same one that we have our clients install. So if you want it, what I'll do is I'll just walk you through it step by step. There's 3 core components, and if you get these right, you'll never have to worry about where your next client's coming from again. So step 1 is the lead magnet. I know you've heard of lead magnets. You've seen them, maybe you've used them, but here's what most coaches do wrong. Most coaches, they give too little or they give too much. So either they're just giving a very surface level post or one reel, and then they're all over you saying, DM me shift, DM me scale, DM me ready. Too soon, mate. Calm down. Or on the other end of the spectrum, they want to give you their life's work, which you'll never bloody go through. And they basically want to be your therapist and just solve every problem in your life. And so it kind of reminds me of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. We don't want it too hot and we don't want it too cold. We want it just right. You want to solve a very specific problem in a short and sweet way that will get them a result. So again, don't try and sell too soon and be too needy, but also don't try and solve every problem in their life as well. What you want to do instead is give them a quick win, something they can do right away and that builds trust. Because if you get them a win, they'll realize, hey, this person's stuff works. And you want them to think, wow, this works. I like this person. So think about what this could be for you. For me, helping coaches get more clients, I could give people an email. I could give them an email template, a swipe file, an email that a coach sends to their list that gets people to reply and buy. Or I could give them an Instagram story sequence, like story 1 to story 5 with the exact types of images, hook, and copy that gets their people to raise their hand and become an inbound lead. So you see, get thinking for you and what this could be for your business, but something they can use immediately and get a result. And just deliver it as a short document, a PDF, a video, a plug and play, anything that gets them a result quickly. So an example of this, one of our clients is a sales coach, and he noticed that a lot of his clients were complaining, and people in his market were complaining about people coming to sales calls with a lot of objections. I know, ironic, right? And so what he did was he shared a simple framework to pre-sell people prior to the call to eliminate objections. And so what he delivered was a Google Doc, I believe, and it just gave people a set of short videos that they could create and put on their page, like their thank you page before a call. And he just simply delivered that in a Google Doc. It was 2 or 3 pages long. He posted for it. About 80 people opted in for it. Some were qualified and moved to a call, and the other people, they were nurtured. And this post alone got him 3 $6,000 clients from a single post. And the other 77 people, like I said, can still be nurtured, who might become clients in the next weeks, months, years, referrals, etc. And so the key why this worked is that it solved a painful, specific problem, like I mentioned, and it did it quickly. It got them a quick win. So to use an analogy, I know you guys love my analogies, you fixed the tire. You didn't try and sell them a whole new car or try and solve everything. You fixed the tire on the car. Once you do this, they're going to trust you. And why wouldn't they? Because they've experienced what it's like in a way to work with you. They've seen that you know your stuff and they've seen that your stuff actually works, and they're probably ready for more. But that's only one part. So even though a lot of coaches make this mistake on the lead magnet, this is only one part. You can't just give your lead magnet away and then disappear and expect them to know what to do. You have to take them along what I call the conversion pathway. And this brings us on to step 2, getting people to express interest in it. So once you've created your lead magnet, you need to get people to raise their hand and ask for it. This is where most coaches overthink. You don't need some complicated funnel for here. You don't need a landing page and you don't need ads. Those things can all work great, yes. But in this example, people have become numb to them. People don't want to go to those things because they know, oh, if I go there, oh, I'll do it later. I'll click X, I'll screenshot it. And they never do it. And these are just more points of failure. So now everybody's used to it. And now they just want to get it. They just want the thing now. So you just need a simple post that says, here's what I've got. Here's what it'll do for you. Comment pancakes if you want it. That's it. So here's the formula we use. I just put together X thing for Y audience who are having Z pain. It gets this result in T time frame. Want me to send it over? So you see, it's very clear what it is, non-needy. It does this, do you want it? And filling in those gaps. So for me, I just put together the content to client framework for coaches who are sick and tired of posting content that doesn't convert. It shows you how to get followers to reach out to you in 7 days flat. Comment CCF if you want it. It's not overly complex, just simple, right? Here's what it is. Here's what it does. You want it? And then when people comment, essentially they've raised their hand and they've said, I'm interested. Now you've got a warm lead. You have people consuming the content, people getting results, potential buyers moving forward, and people to nurture for the future. And I'm sure you've seen other coaches do this before. And this is why people think, oh, I've done this. Maybe you've done it. Or this doesn't work anymore. I see everyone do it. It's saturated. No, it works, mate. The lead magnet is either rubbish, or it needs a new angle, or the problem you're solving isn't specific enough, or you're just giving something that's not a solution to a specific problem. It's just all over the place, or you're just not doing it consistently. And when people do create something good, what happens is they just send it and that's it. There's no follow-up, no qualification, no next step, no strategy. The lead goes cold and you wonder why you're back to chasing. So that's why we have step 3 and why it's so important. Step 3 is the process/automation. So this is where you go from being a content creator to a client creator. So you do it in this order. You send it, you collect their email, you get them on your intro sequence, you get them in your CRM, and you qualify to invite them to the next step. And it's all sequential, so you can track where someone is in the pipeline and you know what your next step is. Collect the email, deliver the resource, add to the CRM, qualify, send to the next step based on their current situation. You're not just going to get them in and then start sending them to VSLs and calls and stuff. No. Then when you get them to where you know their bottleneck, then you can propose call, VSL, educating them on your offer, send them to your community, maybe long form assets or a workshop. And then once you have a process that works, I can't stress that enough, once you have a process that works, then you can automate this entire thing. So for me, again, I'll give my business as an example. If someone isn't working with clients yet, I send them to one thing where they can start getting clients. If they're working with clients and they just want to scale, then I send them another thing which educates them on our offer and maybe they can book in a call. If somebody loved the lead magnet, but they don't want my help yet, I'm not going to try and force them into it. Cool. I'll just send them to my YouTube videos where they can get nurtured more. This way, you're not wasting time on unqualified leads. And the people who are qualified, well, they get a personalized experience that moves them towards buying. And we've literally had clients post these entry offers. You might hear me use those interchangeably, lead magnets and entry offers. We've had clients post these and get 50 to 100 people opt in each time, filling the pipeline with leads, turning them into clients, and having people to nurture for the future. This system just works. And the best part, once it's set up, you can even run it on autopilot. You post, people raise their hand by typing the keyword. The system, could be ManyChat, Go High Level, etc., sends that to them, collects their email, puts it into your CRM, nurtures them for you with preset questions that you've put in there as well. And then you wake up to booked calls, pre-qualified, pre-sold prospects, or DMs ready to buy. It's bloody beautiful. Now, I want to be clear about something, because you're probably hearing this and thinking, wow, this sounds great. But I'll be honest with you, this isn't a magic button that prints money. You still need a good offer. You still need to be able to close. You still need to deliver results to your clients. You actually need to be good at what you do. But what this does is it removes the guesswork. Instead of posting random content and just hoping people opt in or hoping they DM you, you're now posting with strategy and intent. Instead of chasing cold leads, just checking in or just resparking the conversation, you're attracting warm, qualified prospects who actually want to solve their problem and will go along with your conversations rather than just having a chit chat. And instead of spending hours in the DMs trying to get to the point, you're letting automation do the heavy lifting and you can jump in where it's necessary. And instead of revenue roller coaster and feast or famine, you're building a predictable pipeline. And that is the difference between a $5,000, $10,000 or $15,000 a month where you're having to chase people and a consistent, predictable $50,000 a month or even more. It's not working harder and it's not posting more, and it's definitely not about being more authentic. It's about having a system to turn strangers into leads, leads into fans, and fans into clients. And let me tell you, once you have a system, everything changes. You stop worrying about where your next client's coming from. You don't wake up wondering, what do I post today? And checking your phone every 10 minutes to see if someone commented or DM'd you. And you stop trading time for money. This is when you start building a real scalable business. I hope the content to client system makes sense to you, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. If you want to build a predictable, scalable coaching business that does $20,000 to $100,000 a month, you're going to need more than just a system to make sales. You need a world-class offer that people feel stupid saying no to. You need a propaganda machine that pre-sells prospects before they ever get on a call with you. You need strategic content that fills your pipeline with ideal clients daily, and automation that runs 90% of your sales process so that you can work on the business. And that's exactly what we help you install inside the Coach Scale program. We've helped over 200 coaches scale to 6 and 7 figures with this exact system. And honestly, if you're on the hamster wheel chasing every next client and you're ready to scale with simplicity and elegance, it might be worth having a conversation. No pressure. If you want to see how we would install this in your business, I've left details in the description. You can click there and book in a time. Otherwise, you know the drill, guys. Like the video, subscribe, binge all my other content. I'll see you in the next one.